Whew, Esben and the Witch. Hey review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video, and in this one I'm going to be doing an album review for the new Esben and the Witch album entitled Nowhere. Esben and the Witch is a British rock band formed in 2008. This is their 5th studio-length album, the follow-up to Older Terrors, and the second on Season of Mist Records. And it is hard to pigeonhole this band into being one genre. It's hard to say that they are simply this band or that band. This band incorporates a lot of different elements coming from Darkwave and Gothic rock and indie and Shoegaze and psychedelic music and just plain rock and roll. And there's a lot of different facets to their sound, and I feel like despite the fact that that has always been such a staple of this band, is having so many genres kind of collide that work pretty much together a lot of the times, I think that on this album they kind of expose that even more and give that some room to breathe even more. Only 6 tracks, it's 37 minutes. Right off the bat, I like that because that is very experimental for a band like this that is doing so many sounds to have a fairly shorter album. And right on impact, this album is chilling, haunting, and gorgeous. It truly is a beautiful album, and it doesn't even come from Riehl, the lead vocalist's vocals. It more so comes from the overall construction of each song with the lyricism and with Riehl's vocals. I feel like it is mixed so well. Riehl's vocals take the hot seat. She commands these tracks with her voice, but the instrumentation, while this happens, stays so far back in the mix, but far enough into where you can clearly hear it. But it has this nice raw punch to it that really makes it sound tight. It sounds tense. It makes this sound like a ball of yarn that's just tied up in just a really tight knot and so tense that it's about to burst. I love how hauntingly beautiful Riehl's vocals can be on this album, and that's the only main disconnect that I can mainly say about the album is, despite the fact that I think the instrumentation works really well with the type of vocals that Riehl is doing, I feel like it borderlines on maybe a bit too jilted in terms of the connection between the two. Like, this is the vocals, this is the instrumental. I don't know if at every point on this album they work together in tandem necessarily, but it's literally nothing to complain about. This album is still very good. I'll say one thing, Riehl's vocals is most of where you're gonna get that gothic rock fix from previous albums, as well as that darkwave fix, because the instrumentation this time around takes more of a very eerie indie rock with a little bit of gothic rocks mixed in. I would say that while they are letting these influences breathe and giving them room to kind of flourish over these crescendos and beautiful instrumentation and raw drums pounding and amazing guitars that are very simplistic in their nature but still have a lot to offer, as well as these vocals that are just hanging there beautifully and gorgeously mixed. Through all of this, I feel like they have become more concise and mature in the way that they are portraying their sound forward. I love the lyricism on this album. I love how simultaneously emotionless and super emotional this album sounds. It has this feeling of emptiness, especially when you're getting these cavernous drums and guitars in this just gorgeous dance of simplicity, but with just enough technicality to really give something to offer in the background. And you just have Riehl's vocals that are just hanging there in this just cavern of noise that is so glacier in the way it's presented that it is so good of a combo. There was really no part on this album when I wasn't feeling genuinely creeped out. It's simultaneously beautiful and just eerie and creepy and weird and freakish, and I love it. There was never a point on this album where I felt bored with it. There was never a part on this album where I felt like they were buying time, and I think that is well credited to the fact that it's only a 37-minute album. If this was like an hour plus of material, I might like it as much. I might like it better. I'm just saying that personally, I think that this album is the perfect length for what it's doing. This might very well be their best album in my opinion, and I think that Esben and the Witch really came through with an amazing album. This British rock trio really did a great job of incorporating incorporating a lot of different elements into their sound and creating a very cavernous, beautiful sounding album that is simultaneously gorgeously produced, but still kind of creepy and eerie and having that gothic darkwave feel. And I think that is part of the reason why a lot of people like this band, and I think that Season of Mist is a really good place for them, because amidst a lot of really heavy bands, I think that they fit in really squarely, and everyone gave amazing performances on this album. I'm going to be giving it an 8 out of 10, but what did you guys think? Have you heard this album? And if so, you can post in the comment section below what you thought. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future uploads. It helps me out a lot. It helps this series stay up and running, and I'll talk to you guys next time. But until then, my name is Jay Moore, serve you guys, signing off, saying farewell.
Oh no, what your mama gonna say when I tell her that I broke no heart? It's just things not the way that they used to be. Oh no, now you crying on the bathroom floor, and I guess it's the end. Well, I lost my mind and I lost my